Oh, man. He felt so emasculated. You were just banging his sister in the movie theater, and he's crying to Spider-Man.
Sure. I was like 12. And we're back with another episode of Dude Same Fucking Dude Same. Episode 7, right?
Yeah. You sang last time that you did an intro, though. Like
maybe I'll sing every single time.
Please.
Oh, okay. Sorry. Here,
let
me do something. Hey, guys. Welcome to Dude Same Episode 7. Is that what you wanted? You just wanted me to talk?
No, I didn't say be like a cock. I just meant like you don't have to sing.
Is that how a cock acts slogan?
Yeah. Yep. Walking cock.
Sorry that I live with music constantly in my head.
God. I fucking hate you, and so do all the listeners and everyone that hears you talk. Everyone that ever hears you can't stand you. All right. Welcome to the episode, everybody. I'm Logan. That's Andy.
Hey, don't steal my intro.
Off.
Stealing my intro. Stepping all over my work.
Yeah.
Well, it's all right. Episode 7. That means we've been doing this for 7 weeks. That's crazy. That's pretty cool.
How many weeks do you want to do it?
Indefinitely.
Okay.
For now.
Indubitably.
Let's just go to infinity.
Okay.
You want me to pull a question?
I mean, that's why I'm sitting in the chair.
Good. Because I'm going to do it. What's an opinion you have that many people disagree with?
Good question. Good question. I'll let you take this one.
Well, for me, okay. This isn't like a controversial opinion. I know that people agree with me, but the thing is, on Facebook, I always see memes and like pictures and stuff that people share saying like, the reason that I behave myself is because my parents whooped me and I'm going to whoop my kids too. And if you disagree, well, then you don't understand parenting or something like that, you know, stupid stuff like that. And then the person who shares it will always say like, ha ha ha, I mean, yeah, my parents hit me and I'm a well-behaved person to this day. So, you know, I agree with it or whatever. And, you know, a bunch of people comment and stuff. And most of the time on Facebook, like all of the people that I see talking about this are on the side of in favor of hitting kids when they deserve it. Mm-hmm. And I don't get that. I don't get why I'm not seeing a bunch of memes that say don't hit your kids. I never see that. And I never see anybody advocating for the other side of saying, hey, actually let's try and parent without ever needing to hit our kids ever. Because that's what I think. I don't think you should ever need to hit your kids, but I'm not judging you if you do, because I don't know what it's like to be a parent, and I can only imagine how frustrating and difficult it must be to try and parent in the most efficient, correct way. And there isn't really a correct way. It's all up to you. So I'm not saying that I judge you if you're a person listening and you have struck your kids before, or if you are in favor. I'm not judging. I don't hate you, but I just think that it's a misguided approach to parenting, and I don't think it's ever necessary, because I was never hit when I was growing up. When I was with my dad and when we were growing up, he never hit us ever. He was very well tempered, and so he never really got mad. But if he ever did get mad, he would basically bark at us. So like, instead of being hit when I was doing something wrong, my dad would go, no! And he hardly ever did that. So it scared the shit out of me, and I wouldn't do that. I would understand, oh, he's being serious. This is a serious thing not to do. It never reached the point where he ever had to hit me. And the only time that it ever happened was because I kept running across the street without looking both ways. And this is a story that he's told me before, is that you were running across the street and you would never look both ways. And I didn't want you to die. And I was always telling you, Andy, you can't do that. And no matter how serious I got with you, you would just do it again later because you didn't know that you were doing it. And so one day I pulled you aside and said, Andy, I've told you enough times. If you do it again, I'm going to have to spank you. And it sucked having to tell you that, man. Just a look in your face, hearing that from me. It just, I knew how much it scared you that I even said that. And then one day we were at Hy-Vee and we were walking into the store and you did it again. You started running across the parking lot. You almost got hit by a car because you weren't looking. And so I said, you know what, Andy, I told you that you don't have any more chances. And so I as we were walking into Hy-Vee, I told you that I was going to have to spank you. And you were already crying, man. You were already crying because you were so scared and you didn't want me to have to hit you. And you were only like 4 years old, 5 years old. And I walked you, I don't know if you remember this, Andy, but I walked you over to the hot dogs and I couldn't bring myself to do it. So I just went like this on your butt really lightly and said, that's what you get. And you were crying just because of the whole ordeal and just of the fact that I hit you. You were already crying anyway. So it's just funny how guilty he felt for doing that.
Yeah.
So basically, I don't think you should ever have to hate your kids as long as you're a person who's well tempered, where you don't you don't conclude to just screaming at them instantly. You know what I mean? Like some parents, I think that's probably the struggle, is they are mad at their kids and they're always at 10 screaming at them. And so their kids they're going to get used to that. And then when you need to really tell them that something's wrong, they hit them, they spank them, whatever it is. And I just don't think that it's necessary because I lived it without it. So, I don't know. And one more thing. I think maybe the reason that people don't talk about it on Facebook and stuff, saying how it's a bad thing, is because it's very common for people to have, like people our age, like everybody got spanked. A lot of people got spanked. And they don't want to cancel their parents. So they're not going to go saying, it's actually very wrong, blah, blah, blah. Like I'll see people who are really woke and progressive, and they're the people who sometimes share the memes saying, I mean, I got spanked when I was a kid and I know respect because of it.
Yeah.
But everything else they're super woke on. And I think it's just because then that makes you have to cancel your parents, and nobody wants to do that. So they're just going to pretend that it's okay. And I just don't think it is.
Yeah. But yeah, it's tough though, because you can't negotiate with like a 3-year-old.
Right.
So I don't know. And that's why I don't want kids, because I have no fucking idea what I would do. I don't have the slightest fucking clue about how to handle a kid when I get mad at them or when I get frustrated. Because, dude, babies crying brings me to a level of just infuriation that I don't feel in any other situation.
Yeah.
Like, and it's specifically when a baby cries for no reason. You offer it a bottle, it says no. You offer it a toy, it says no. You try and put it to sleep, it says no.
You're just assuming that there's no reason. That's because you can't talk to it.
No, there is no reason, because you give all the possible solutions and the baby just screams. That's when I want to punch it in the mouth. And I don't.
What if there was something initially that made it start crying, and then it was really crying because of that thing, but now that thing's already gone, but the baby has an extreme headache because it's been screaming at the top of its lungs, and it has no idea what a headache is, and it's probably one of the worst pains it's ever felt in its life, so now it's just crying because of that.
Yeah.
So I wonder if it ever gets to a point where it's just a loop and the baby's just crying.
Probably, but the situation you just described, I don't ever want it. I don't ever want to deal with it.
Yeah.
I don't. Because you just described like the worst fucking situation. Hey, what's going on? My baby's crying. Why? Fuck if I know.
Yeah. That sucks. And I totally understand.
Yeah. So fuck that. But I don't know. I was spanked, and I'm a piece of shit. So.
Well, I don't know what I'm saying. And like, so for example, I don't hate your parents. I know that your parents are awesome and that they're wonderful. So I don't want them to think that I'm judging them for having spanked you. I mean, I know it's normal, and I don't really, it's like, do whatever you want with your kids as long as you don't, I mean, just, I don't know. I'm just glad I wasn't hit. I'm glad I have zero memories of my dad ever hitting me, because that is just like, that depresses me to even think about that.
Right.
So like, it's the person who's supposed to raise you and nurture you and care for you and show you how the world works and love you unconditionally. And then sometimes kids have this fear in their eyes because their parents are now angry at them and they want to hit them and punish them and cause physical pain on purpose. Like, it's just, I don't know. It kind of makes me, it's just weird, but I get it.
Yeah.
And same as you, like, I have no idea what I'm going to do. I want kids. I know you don't, but I do. But I'm also really, really afraid of it. And I spend a lot of time thinking about how scary of a thing that is to want.
Yeah. See, and
right now.
Like, I was spanked, but I also got, like, so my sister had a baby when she was 17. And she is a badass because she fucking dealt with that shit and, like, figured it out. And she's an awesome mom. But for me, I'm 3 years younger than her. So I was 14 when she had her first kid. And so I think I matured quicker than most other like 14 and 15-year-olds. Not like, I'm not saying I was a mature teenager, because I wasn't. I was still an asshole. I was still really mean to my mom for some reason. But I remember being in high school, and there came a moment where I didn't get in trouble with my dad anymore. We just had like business talks. He would sit me and it would be like, hey man, you're failing algebra 1. Why? And I would be like, Dad, I just don't like it. And he would be like, I don't care. Go do your fucking homework. Or like, I remember there was one time where I never wanted to go to class, and I got really, really good at finding any excuse to get out of class, like any excuse. You did the same thing. We went to, we would do anything to get out of class, and we did it a lot. And it got to a point where one of my teachers finally was asking me, like, why are you never here? Where the fuck do you go? Like, what do you, you've missed all this class. Where are you? And I said, oh, I have band practice all day, every day. And I remember it went in a circle. So that teacher went to my parents and was like, you need to talk to the band teacher because the band teacher is pulling your son out of class 24 hours a day. And my parents were like, hey, band teacher, why are you taking my son out of class? And the band teacher was like, your son's never here. And it was like, fuck, that was the only time that like my bullshit just wasn't taken. And and I had like a business negotiation with my dad. I think we like put on suits and ties and sat across like a really long boardroom table. And he was like,
with like a swinging light
between you guys. And he was like, you're not going to class. And I was like, no. He was like, why? That was it. It was all the, you know what I mean? So like I stopped getting punished eventually. And it started just being like, hey man, you're being a dipshit. Let's talk about it. Why don't you tell me about why?
Yeah. I feel like that's similar just to an approach that my dad always took. Not to say that, like, again, not judging how you were parented. And I'm not saying that my dad parents correctly. Who the fuck knows? But I remember my dad would talk to me and my brothers and stuff like we were adults when it came to that kind of stuff. From a very early age, like he would explain why things are the way they are, and he would like try and get to the source of why we don't agree or why we don't understand, so like I remember one time I was like just misbehaving at dinner time, and we were all supposed to be eating dinner, and we were just going to sit down and watch TV and eat dinner together, and I was maybe complaining about something I didn't want to eat, and then I was maybe throwing a little bit of a mini tantrum because I didn't want to eat it, and my dad was saying that I had to, and because of the way I was behaving, he said, okay, Andy, go sit over there in the corner. You got to go sit in timeout. So, and he brought me over to the corner and told me to sit there. And he said, now you just sit here until you realize that you're not acting like everyone else. Once you realize that you're not acting like everyone else, and once you want to act like everyone else and participate, you can come back. And I was only over there for like a couple minutes before I came back like a dog with his tail down saying, sorry, you know what I mean? So it wasn't even like he said, you have to stay there for 10 minutes without any explanation. Like he like explained it to me. Like, this is why I'm putting you over here, and how to get back. So just do that. You know what I mean? So I like that approach. And it's not always going to be successful because concepts about life go over kids' heads. So I it's got to be really, really hard to try and raise kids, dude, and to make them understand things. Yeah.
The weird thing about my fucking childhood is that I was a politician's son.
Yeah.
So my dad he got elected to the Senate when I was born, in the year that I was born. No, when I was 2. And so I spent my whole childhood like campaigning and going to the Capitol and like being around people who were shaking hands and wearing suits and ties and shit like that. And so I remember my dad told me a story about like, because I grew up and like my dad performed always in front of the public. You know what I mean? He was always like respectful, and the manners, because it was like an act, because he was trying to get elected. And so I grew up, and my dad told me when I first went to kindergarten, I came home, or maybe it was kindergarten or first grade, I don't remember. I came home and I told him there were kids that weren't listening to the teacher. And I was in shock. Yeah, because I was like, you guys are not on the campaign trail every day like I am, out there trying to win votes as like a fucking 5-year-old. You know what I mean? Because I was just in shock that like, oh wait, these rules aren't just like set. Like these aren't just like 100%. We're allowed to like negotiate on these. Yeah. I had no idea.
Yeah, kids are like really impressionable in that way too. Mm-hmm. Which again just kind of brings it back to why I think so many parents still spank, is because they were spanked and that's just all they know.
Yeah, for sure.
With my dad, he was like whooped growing up, he got the belt and all that kind of crazy stuff. A different era. My grandpa's a really cool guy though. But and my dad always told me growing up that he doesn't ever want to hit us because he was beat and hit and whooped and stuff when he was young. Right. And every single time it happened, he always was thinking to himself, this sucks, and I would never want to do this to my kids. And if I ever have kids, I'm not going to do this. And so he broke the cycle is like basically, and I think that's cool. I think it's cool that he is able to do that. I just have a lot of respect for him and how he handled that part of raising us. Basically, I like how he raised us. Yeah, pretty much across the board. But that's my favorite part, is that he said, this is a part of the parenting that I experienced growing up that I didn't like, so let me subtract that from my methods. And then that's what I plan to do too. When I have kids, anything that I didn't like about how my dad raised me, which I can't, it's hard for me to think of anything, but I'm sure there are things, there's going to be things that I'll discover as I raise kids. Like, oh, my dad used to do it this way. I'm going to do it this way. It's just cool. As the generations keep going, you can like perfect it or like cherry pick the bad parts out and just make it better if you're cool.
Yeah, I remember one time I was at your house in the summer when we were kids, and I had stayed the night, I think like 2 nights in a row. It was just one of those things where like we're hanging out, and then I stay the night, and then we're hanging out all day the next day, and then I stay the night again. Might as well stay the night again. Yeah, and then I remember the next like morning, we came upstairs, and your 2 brothers and your dad were sitting upstairs on the couch, and your older brother just went, "Logan, are you moving in?" And I was humiliated. I was absolutely just devastated because they were like the older brothers at the time. We were little kids. And I was like, I got to get the fuck out of here. I got to get the fuck out of here. Mom. Like
I have my own life. I'm not,
Yeah, exactly.
I don't need to live here.
Yeah. But
that's
funny. It just absolutely embarrassed me.
You should have moved in.
I should. We basically did.
You and I like had custody where you lived at my place sometimes, I lived at your place sometimes.
Yeah, we had a weird friendship because we bounced back and forth. Like I feel like most friendships, you have one house that you stay at for the most part, but we shared custody.
I think I was at your house a little more often though, right?
Probably. Well, no, I mean yeah, probably.
You know what I think it was a little bit
once
in the later
we got
years.
Older. Yeah.
Right. In high school, we were at your house more often because you had the backyard with the fireplace and the fire pit and the finished basement with a couch. So your house was the chill zone, bro.
Yeah, it was more chill. Your house, we like did fun shit though.
Speaking of chill zone, do you remember that one time when you and me and Jacob were hanging out and it was in the middle of winter and Jacob said, "If you ride in the back of my truck from here to Casey's, I'll buy you 2 drinks, like a Pepsi and a Coke." And I said, okay, because it wasn't that far. And then he proceeded to just drive around for like 10 minutes all around town, and my face fucking hurt. And I could feel the pain of the cold searing into my bones. And I was pounding on the back window. I was mad, dude.
No, but there came a point when you got exhausted and stopped pounding on the window and just went into the fetal position to try and protect your limbs.
I was trying to survive.
I remember
I didn't want to die.
Because it had to have been, I mean, like it was winter in Iowa, so you were talking
it was like negative 20.
Yeah, it was night.
Like,
and winter in Iowa. So, and we were not driving slow. Andy's in the back. And I remember like he was yelling and stuff like that because he realized that we were not stopping and we were going to bully him and give him trauma here. And then there came a moment where he was like a sad dog and just like gave up and said,
because I felt so betrayed. I was like, what are my best friends getting out of literally torturing me? This is
literal
sick.
Torture. Literal. Yeah. Actual physical torture. Yeah.
And then when we finally got back, Jacob bought me the 2 sodas, so whatever. But I remember I just like speed walked into your house because I knew it was gonna be warm in there, and I went and laid down on the floor in the basement. And you felt bad, and you put like 8 blankets on me. You just kept like going over to the basket with a blanket. And you put one on, and you went and put another one on. And soon I was just like in this big old cocoon.
What a good guy I was. What a good guy.
Yeah.
Actually, that's a really big calling card of a toxic relationship. Beat the shit out of someone and then coddle them after.
Yeah.
That's I was already starting it.
Hey, anyway. What's an opinion that you have that a lot of people agree with?
Yeah. So I was thinking through this a lot because I was like, okay, I can do a lot of like silly answers. Like I can do Amy Schumer isn't funny and the whole state of Florida can go to hell. And, all that stuff. Pancakes are disgusting. Like I could do all of those things.
Yeah, I disagree with that one because they're not.
My most actual like controversial disagreed with opinion, seriously, is that the North American system of tipping for servers is absolutely broken and flawed and completely stupid and needs to be abolished so badly.
You're making a lot of people mad because they live off tips.
See, I know, and that's fine. Let me just make this point clear. Like, put down your pitchforks. Hang on. Servers should be paid for their work. They should not be paid less than other people that are working the same jobs or working the same shift. But it shouldn't be the consumer's responsibility to pay that forward rather than the business who is hiring them.
Yeah.
Because when I go out to eat, I'm paying for the entire thing. I'm paying for the restaurant and I'm paying for the service. So I should just pay for that service as a whole. And also, if we're really gonna do it and break it down, statistically, it's easy to show that white attractive women get tipped higher than anyone else. And if that's the system, then that's wrong, because like we shouldn't be paying white attractive women more than other people. So it shouldn't be that way if the American consumer is spending their money that way. So like we need to abolish it, make restaurants raise their prices, and pay servers as part of their business expenses the correct amount, so that American tipping can go back to, like, if they go above and beyond, or if they're a friend of yours, you can tip 5%, and that's a gift. Yeah. But right now, the fact that tipping is like assumed is total horseshit. And all it's doing is letting businesses cut the cost of actually paying people and penalizing people that don't want to tip. And socially also, if someone is still doing the job, but is super, super busy, like a server that hasn't refilled your water enough, some bitchy ass old Karen lady isn't going to tip her, even though the server could have been like moving for 6 hours straight and just didn't actually have a second to get back and refill your water. They're not going to tip them, but they still did their job. They should still be paid. Yeah. So the whole system is broken. Fuck them. Europe, send your tipping system over here, and I'll pay more when I go to a restaurant, because people love to say, if you don't have the money to tip, don't go out to eat. I have the money. I just want to pay for the service, and I want you to be paid for your work, not me trying to figure out what your worth is based on how well you served me and trying to figure out if I, whatever. Like, it should just be part of it. And then that eliminates the whole, if an expensive restaurant should pay the servers the same as a cheap restaurant. And right now, like, what's happening is, like, if you go to an expensive restaurant, you're supposed to tip higher because the food costs more. Right. That actually logically doesn't make any sense. They're doing the same job. So like, they should just be paid more to do the job. Yeah. And then I don't have to worry about trying to tip according to the menu prices. And it's stupid. It's absolutely ridiculous.
I agree.
But if you're a server, you should be paid, and that's the ultimate thing. I don't think that we should stop tipping, because I do tip, but it shouldn't be that way anymore, and then we shouldn't have to.
When I worked at Pizza Hut in high school, I was a server there, and it was also, I feel like there's not a lot of like dine-in Pizza Huts anymore. I hardly ever see them, but that was where I worked. I worked at a dine-in Pizza Hut that had a buffet bar and everything. People would come in and eat and sit down, and I would get tips, and I would clean up their tables and everything. Yeah. And at the end of my shift, I would have to enter in how much I made in tips into the system so that it knew that I made enough or whatever. And if for any reason, like if we were really slow and I just didn't make enough in tips, then I would get paid more hourly for that day because I didn't make enough in tips to equal whatever. And I thought that was how all restaurants worked, but apparently it's not. And I've talked to a lot of people who say, no, like I only get paid $4.25 an hour, even if I don't make tips, like, which I don't understand how that's legal.
I don't either. Well, like kids that worked at the movie theater when we were in school were making like $4 an hour.
Oh yeah, how is that?
How is that fucking legal? I don't understand.
I forgot about that. I forgot that the movie theater paid so. Yeah, what the fuck was up with that? I don't remember. I don't cared to solve that mystery, and now I do.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Well, it's closed, so it doesn't matter.
I was gonna say, now that theater is closed.
I don't know, man. It's weird, and it's also just like, man, I worked at a grocery store through high school, and I fucking hated every single second of it. But I did the job, so I should be paid for it, and I was. But if I was doing the same thing at the movie theater, for some reason, I'm not getting paid for it.
Yeah.
Doesn't make any sense.
Did they get some sort of perk or something that?
Yeah. I had a buddy that worked at the movie theater, and we went on movie dates all the time, him and I, because they could get free tickets to the movies and then free popcorn and free drink.
Oh, so that makes up for what we're not paying you.
Yeah, right.
Probably.
Yeah, but seriously, if you were a guy working at the movie theater in high school, you should have been slinging, because
they all were.
Yeah, you should have been, because you had a free date.
Yeah.
In a dark.
Let me take you to the hippest place in town. The movie theater with only one movie screen, so whatever's playing is what we're watching.
That's the crazy thing. So the movie theater that Andy and I grew up in was like an opera hall.
We grew up in a movie theater.
We grew up there, essentially. And still to this day, it's closed now, but up until like last year when it was still open, the seats were, I don't know, whoever designed them, the guy must have patented like the most uncomfortable seat in history. He just patented, this seat will break every bone in your spine and neck. That
the
was
worst part was through most of my childhood, my height made it so that my head lined up perfectly with the back edge of the seat, which is hard plastic, and right in the center there was a notch.
There's just
There
a
was like
knot
a square
there.
notch of harder
Why?
plastic. So like,
What
if
was
you're
that
the perfect
doing there?
height, if you're a little kid,
Yeah.
you can't even lean your head back on a cushion. You have to lean your head back on this fucking plastic notch. And God forbid I grow up and I have nothing to lean my head back on. What the hell is a movie theater seat? What that you can't.
Yeah.
I've been spoiled by city movie theaters, I guess now. The ones that
Yeah.
recline with big old cushiony chairs. That's
Yeah.
it's just how that should all be.
Yeah. That is where I went on my first date, though. I went on my first date there with a girl. And
You're about to say a full name.
I was, but
From, like,
she probably
middle
wouldn't
school.
care. But a girl. And we saw 21, the movie with the guy from across the universe where he counts cards and Kevin Spacey.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
And at one point, I had my hand on my leg, and she reached from the armrest and grabbed my hand, and it was the first like physical contact I'd ever had with a girl. And I think that my heart grew 3 sizes that day.
Wow. You're no longer the Grinch.
No,
You learned what a woman's touch is.
exactly. Yeah.
I'm sure that everyone who is from Creston had their first date at the movie theater.
Yeah.
I remember I saw Spider-Man 3 there with my very first girlfriend. Because you remember she had an older brother. Remember her older brother?
Yep.
And he was there with us at the movie theater. And I just remember this scene where Harry dies, where James Franco's dying at the end of Spider-Man 3.
Spoiler.
I know. And I looked over at him, and he was like tearing up and crying. And I thought it was so funny. I was like, "Are you crying?" And he's like, "Yes, shut up." No, he didn't know what to say. It was great.
No, man. He felt so emasculated. You were just banging his sister in the movie theater, and he's crying to Spider-Man.
Sure. I was like 12.
Yeah. He was just slapping cheeks with his sister over there, and he's like, James. Yeah, that's good. That's a good story, man.
Spider-Man 3.
Here's a question for you. Do you think Jesus ever got sunburn?
Depends on what his skin really was, right?
Well, I'm just saying, because I was thinking about, like,
I don't think he was a white guy.
we were in the pool the other day for like 4 hours or something like
dude.
that, and we got sunburn. Like, I
Yeah,
got
my
sunburn on the
shoulders.
forehead. My forehead looks like a cherry.
My shoulders and my nose right now, and my back of my neck pretty bad.
Right. But according to the Bible, Jesus was like hopping about 24/7.
And he was white as a snowman.
No, but I'm saying, like, if we got sunburned out there, like, I'm no Jesus, but I got sunburn.
Yeah.
Did Jesus?
Well, if he's magic, he can probably just be like, poof, I don't get sunburned.
That's not anywhere in the Bible.
Well, him being magic isn't anywhere in the Bible?
No, I'm saying him getting, like, having aloe powers is not in the Bible anywhere.
Well, they can't fit all of his powers in. It's he had like infinite amount of powers. You got it. The runtime would be too long.
Dude. Did you, apparently Jesus didn't have any powers. He had to, like, ask God every time for the powers.
Hey, Dad.
Yeah. It was like going to your dad for, like, money.
Really want to get drunk, and all I have is some water.
Hey, God, my buddy Lazarus, I kind of forgot about him and he passed away. You think you could help me out? And God was like, Jesus Christ, literally.
Jesus
Here
Christ,
you go.
my son.
And he gave him his powers, and then he brought Lazarus back together. I'm pretty sure that's how it worked. That's what I've seen.
Hey, Dad, look, I died. You think you could like do me a solid and help me freak everyone the fuck out?
He goes, God, you are not gonna believe this, but they fucking nailed me, man. Nailed me.
Literally.
Yeah. I don't know. I was just thinking, I mean, like, because there's so many stories about him, like, and they're always on the top of a hill. And I'm like, the UV index had to be through the roof
Yeah.
wherever he was preaching. So,
Yeah. Unless, well, I've heard differing things on this, but like if you are Hispanic or if you're black and if you have just naturally darker skin, that some have told me that they can't get sunburned. But then I've seen other people. I have some black friends, and like I've gone swimming with them, and they put on sunscreen because they said, "No, I'll still burn. You won't see it, but I'll still burn. I've been burnt before." So I don't know what the truth is there, because I've heard 2 different answers from like similar sources, and maybe just some people don't get sunburned,
and therefore you've had all the research that's ever necessary because you.
I guess no, I never went on the internet myself. It was just firsthand information from friends of mine. But I just wonder. I don't know, because no matter what, I get sunburned. But
yeah.
So like if Jesus wasn't white, which come on, he wasn't. He was not a white.
He's not
guy.
a white dude. Yeah.
Look at the pictures of Jesus. It's so hilarious.
Yeah,
It
the
doesn't look like
paintings.
doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, he looks like Chad. That's a
I know,
Chad.
yeah.
He could be rushing Sigma Kappa right now. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't.
And then you see the realistic pictures of what people assume Jesus actually looks like,
Yeah.
and I'm like, okay, that seems to make geographical, historical sense. And if that's the case, maybe he didn't get sunburned as much.
Right.
You know, actually, they didn't have sunscreen back then, so I'm sure everybody just had a natural defense in their skin to the sun. Everyone was probably really tan, and it was probably just hard to get sunburns unless you were a person who was always inside.
But then, in theory, evolution-wise, we would still be impervious to sunburn.
Well, no, because we evolved to not be outside all the time. We started having houses
suppose,
and being inside, and so our skin changed and adapted to this new inside life.
Yeah. You ever notice that homeless people always have the best tans?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Canceled.
Yeah. Well.
Last episode of Dude Same.
Yeah, they do though.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm
They
saying
really
is
do.
that Jesus, imagine if Jesus actually was like blonde, but had like a deep tan and he just looked like a Cali surfer from the 60s.
Yeah. Yeah. He's like running on the water with his surfboard.
That's what it was. Jesus walked on water and then shredded some gnar.
Yeah.
Shit. What's Andy's candy today?
Andy's candy. So I was just watching some TikToks and like I saw a TikTok it was fake. It was like a VR thing that was like what it's like to be attacked by the megalodon. And it was like somebody who's like underwater and you could tell that they were looking around VR and like there was this megalodon in the distance that was like creeping up on them and then it started attack. They were inside the submarine. Just freaked me out, but I love that kind of stuff at the same time. And side note, we just watched Jaws this weekend because I came over to your place for your birthday. Happy birthday. Everybody wish Logan a happy birthday. Jaws is a great movie. So it's just funny that I happened to watch this TikTok right around the same time. And then I started just going into this rabbit hole of like prehistoric animals and shit because I just find them so fascinating. I just love like dinosaurs and fucking prehistoric mammals, all that kind of stuff. Like, so right here, look at this. Imagine if this was real still, a saber-toothed tiger with those tusks like that, those fangs that are coming out. They're like 6 inches long. That is just insane. That just blows my mind that was real. And look how muscular and huge it is in the upper body. And I know this is just a painting, but we know what they looked like from the bones that we've found. It's just insane. Like look at these guys. Chalicotherium.
Is that a Chalicotherium?
Yeah.
Damn.
We know what the Chalicotherium is. Like there's this game, everybody, that Logan and I were really into about a year ago or a few months ago. It's called Ark.
Yeah.
And it's this PS4 game where
it is the nerdiest game next to Minecraft.
It really is.
In
you start in like this prehistoric island environment with nothing, and it's first person, and you gather stones and you make tools, and then soon you can make other stuff. And anyway, there's all sorts of prehistoric animals in it. This is one of them. That's why I know it's called a Chalicotherium. Why else would I happen to know the exact full name of some prehistoric animal? I'm not a nerd. But just look at that thing. That looks like an alien with its gigantically long arms. Then that was a real thing. And so was the saber-toothed tiger. And then this one right here, like pictures like this make me shit a little bit because you could see just how gigantic, first of all, just how gigantic a regular elephant is. That blows my mind. And then in comparison to a Titanosaurus, which was like a long neck type of dinosaur that was real because apparently we've found skeletons of them. And that's just, it could stomp on you and kill you. Like its foot is bigger than your entire body. And that blows my mind that things like that were real. And I love when I'm out in nature and I'm like hiking and I'm looking at a beautiful landscape like this. Like look at this picture, this beautiful landscape right here.
Yeah.
And when I'm on a hike and I go like this with my hands, and if there's anything man-made, I block it out of my vision so that everything I'm seeing is just nature. And it's like I'm able to mentally feel as though I'm in the prehistoric age, like for sometimes just for a brief moment. But like when I have that like overwhelming, whoa, this is like, whoa, and I'm just like seeing it for what it is. Like it's crazy to me. The earth is just crazy to me. And the fact that it's been here for so many billions of years and that there were these gigantic reptiles that existed. I know I sound cheesy because this is just any science teacher talking about how much they love dinosaurs. I'm just recycling probably things I've heard before. But I don't give a shit because I genuinely feel it. Dinosaurs are fucking awesome. I just can't believe that they're real. Alligators are real. Like that. Look at that. Look at that. Look at those fucking things. And look at this. Look, Triceratops. Okay. So there's those four pictures. Especially I like this picture.
Jesus.
And I really love this type of art, like
Yeah.
prehistoric paintings of realistic, like prehistoric animals and stuff. Paintings of prehistoric landscapes is what I mean to say, not prehistoric paintings. Anyway, look at this. Look at that, the megalodon attacking, what's it called? I forget what that type of water dinosaur thing is called, but it was real. And then there's some pterodons flying behind him. And the way that the sun's out in this picture and how it's like kind of golden hour reflecting off those clouds. And there's like this nice shading. The fact that like the sun and the sky looks so beautiful, but there's this horror taking place of these monsters killing each other. And it's happening at the same time, and that was just what existence was. It's really eerie to me. I don't know what it is about certain paintings of prehistoric landscapes that I really love, but like this one in particular, I wish I had a gigantic poster of it or something. I'd have it up somewhere in my house. So yeah, that's Andy's Candy, is prehistoric animals. I just get fucking raging hard looking at these pictures, man. I just can't. Oh man, it's just yeah.
Are you having
That's
an
how I feel.
orgasm?
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ.
As terrified as I am of sharks and things that can kill me, I'm also very fascinated. And so I kind of wish that Jurassic World was real so that I could, see what it would be like to live with dinosaurs. Right. But I don't want to die.
I had an ex-girlfriend that didn't really believe in dinosaurs. Never tell you that. Yeah. Well.
There are way more people than there should be that don't believe in dinosaurs.
Because it destroys the Bible. You
Yeah.
have to.
A dinosaur could easily destroy
You
the
can
Bible.
only land on one. It's got to be one or the other. Either
So,
all this
yeah,
shit's fake or the Bible's real.
We always end up talking about the Bible and Christianity. It seems
Yeah.
like at least once per episode.
Yeah.
We don't need to dog on it so hard, but also
No, because
like,
it's
how
not.
did they?
Like I said, I'm just saying. Like, I don't know. Did we plant all the bones?
Yeah, they're all just fake. The scientists are all in cahoots because they want to make sure that
Well,
it's.
they are. Yeah.
Yeah, 6,000-year-old planet that we're living on.
Yeah. So Logan's Locker is in a similar vein. So I've been rewatching Fast and Furious, and because F9 is coming out, because they've been searching for different ways to rearrange the words Fast and Furious to make new titles, because Fast 5, Furious 6, Fast 7.
and Furious. Wasn't one of them just called Fast and Furious?
7.
Because
Yeah, the
first
first
movie
one
was called
The
Fast and the Furious.
and the
right?
Furious.
You're right.
Yeah, and then the fourth one is Fast and Furious. And so we're gonna get now it's F9. So the next one's
Tornado.
gonna be FF10. And then, I can't wait. I'm excited. I don't even care about the movies. I just want to know what the titles are going to be. But anyway.
It's crazy that there's a 9.
Yeah, so there's a lot of them. And you and I saw Fast 5 in the theater with my dad. I don't know if you remember that, but we did.
I do, and I had never seen a Fast and Furious movie.
Yeah. So
the
anyway,
first
so I've been rewatching them because I'm going to see F9 because I think they're fun. And I'm cool with all the physics-defying action. I'm cool. But I have a problem that I want to talk about. So, in the fourth movie, which is Fast and Furious, Letty, who has been a character since the first movie, who is the girlfriend of Dominic Toretto, dies.
Okay.
Because Dom's got to go off and do his Vin Diesel brooding in the corner and looking out over the landscapes. And Letty dies because she's trying to bring him back to the United States.
What kind of a name is
Okay.
Letty?
So, Letty is dead. Then, one movie later, at the end of Fast 5, the post-credits scene brings Letty back to life.
They gotta.
So that's one movie later. So she was dead for a movie. And then at the end of Fast 5, they bring her back to life. Then Furious 6 is all about going to get Letty and figuring out, oh my God, she's alive. But here's the fucking problem. In Fast 5, they give Dominic a new girlfriend. So then in Furious 6, his ex-girlfriend is alive, even though he thought she was dead. But he's got a new girlfriend who he lives on a beautiful patio in Spain with. And so there is actually a scene at the end of Furious 6 where his now ex-girlfriend meets his previously dead ex-girlfriend, but current girlfriend, and they're all good with each other. They're like, hey, thanks for taking care of him while everybody thought I was dead. No worries, glad you're back to life. What?
We fucked, but I'm
on
not gonna fuck him
earth
anymore.
The fuck is that? And tell me, okay, look, people fly through the air, they catch people and then jump onto windshields and they're okay. They walk out of flaming buildings and they're okay. Fine. But you cannot convince me that any girlfriend would accept a breakup text that says, sorry, X is alive, G2G, TTYL, and be like, okay.
Yeah.
It's not fucking possible. So that drives me nuts. And now, so the third movie, I think it's the third one. Is Tokyo Drift. And in Tokyo Drift, we met Han, who we had never met before. And he was a cool character, and the actor does a really good job playing him. So they decided, fuck it, we'll bring him back. And so they put him in the later movies, even though in Tokyo Drift, he dies. So he dies in the third movie.
They find a way to write him back to life, right?
And then in the fourth movie, we find out, oh, this is a prequel to the third movie. So then 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, I believe, are all prequels to the third movie. So now we have F9, and guess what? Han's fucking alive. They bring him back to life. I don't fucking understand, dude. There has to be some stakes. I don't care if you go to space. Yeah. I don't care if your semi-truck can dive underwater and do a barrel roll. New one, right? Yeah, they do go to space, apparently, in F9. I haven't seen it yet. Tej, Ludacris, and I think it's Tyrese Gibson apparently go to space. In a car, not a rocket, a car.
A regular car.
I think so. And they just ramp high enough.
Just like anyway, the Tesla that's floating
you cannot there has to be some sort of stakes. I don't care that they're over-the-top action movies. You can't just bring everybody back to life. There has to be some level of...
Death isn't real in the Fast and Furious franchise.
That's what I'm saying. They can't just be impervious. And it's a good storyline when people die. Like I love in Game of Thrones when they kill all the main characters. Dope.
When they just kill all of them?
Because it adds stakes. You know, they're real, but not in Fast and Furious, not in that street racing series.
That's just another reason for me to not get into that franchise. I've never really been too interested in it. Like, I can do the types of movies that are over the top when I go, okay, I'm watching an over the top movie. Like I said, like when I watched Nobody, and I talked about that movie on here a little bit. It was so over the top, and I liked it just because I knew that's what it was going to be. Like when I went and saw the movie The Meg with Jason Statham. I knew that was going to be over the top, and I like sharks, and I wanted to see an over the top, silly shark movie. But I've never even been interested in cars and like going fast and that kind of stuff. Like I like cars, but I'm not a car guy, so I've never been into car movies or just the Fast and Furious. There's nothing about it that's ever piqued my interest in any way that I would feel like it's worth going, all right, I'm just doing this type of movie. Like it's just, I don't know. It's just not my thing. Jurassic World, I love it, even though it's so stupid and unrealistic, but it's dinosaurs, so fuck yeah, and they look real. But I just can't do the Fast and Furious movies.
I just don't like that in F9, John Cena has a full head of hair. That's all.
Oh, yeah, I forgot
I have nightmares about that full head of hair. Seriously, I do not like it. It makes me cringe. Yeah. He needs to be bald.
Well, he normally has like a buzz cut, right?
Yeah, well, back in his WWE days, when he was in cargo shorts and camo shirts, but he's been growing it out now.
Is John Cena bald often now?
No, now he's full head of hair all the time.
Wait, so what's weird about it too? Just that you want him to be bald? I don't get it.
No. He had the buzz cut way back when. And when he first became famous, he had the buzz cut for decades. And then now that he's like acting and he's not wrestling much, he's got a full wig, essentially.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't like it. I do not like it.
Looks like Mark Wahlberg's hair.
It looks fake because it's so full and wrong on his face. It looks just not right.
Yeah, that does look weird. I know what you mean. I'm looking at some pictures. I know.
Yeah, it looks like he's wearing like a wig. I don't like it. So
it's all combed, all nice and neat.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, what's your vinyl time?
It's vinyl time.
I want to know.
All right. So for vinyl time today, I want to repair the damage that I did last week because I took a shit on Blink-182. And nice. I like Blink-182. I like them. And I do. I have a lot of love for them. So I want to repair.
You just don't like their newest album.
Yeah.
Which is okay.
So I want to repair that damage with my vinyl today. So today is Enema of the State by Blink-182. I just got this yesterday for my birthday. I went to the vinyl store and bought myself a gift because I'm 26 and you buy yourself gifts. And but I love this album, dude. And if you don't know a lot about like late 90s, early 2000s rock, this album pretty much shaped it. It was produced by the same guy that did Dookie for Green Day, which pretty much started the trend of like pop punk rock. And this album finalized it and sent us into the early 2000s, which carried all the way over. And I think this is Blink-182 at the top of their game. I mean, everybody knows that this is like the essential album by them, but there's some cool artwork that I had never seen before in here. And the other fun fact that I know about this album is the girl on the front and the back cover art is a porn star. I didn't know that until the past few months when I looked up who's the girl in the front of Enema the State. But anyway, there's really good stuff on here, really goofy, but also really tender writing. I think that's the cool thing about Tom DeLonge is he can write really goofy and weird and funny shit, but it's also really tender and introspective. So good album.
Hell yeah, I agree. That's my favorite album by them. I know that album the best out of all their stuff. That's a good one. I didn't know.
And All the Small Things is not even the best song on the album. So go listen to some of the other music because it's really fucking good.
Nice. Nostalgic.
Yeah.
Well, today oh no.
Oh, shit.
Today I brought this, which is the newest album of Hiatus Coyote. It just came out last Friday, June 25th, and I've been waiting for it because it's one of my favorite groups, and I fucking love it. Some awesome jazzy R&B type music, and it's like modern neo-soul. I don't know what you classify it as, but it's really cool, and the musicality of the group that does the instruments is awesome, and the singer, Napalm, she's an incredible singer. They're all Australian, and this album... I've been waiting for it, and I'm so glad it finally came. It's called Mood Valiant, if I didn't say that yet. And the vinyl itself is cool because it is red and black splattered, which I just love. I think that looks awesome. So I have that, and one of my favorite songs from this album, I think it's Red Room. I really love that one. It's a slower, simpler one, and it came out as a single. And there's this little book thing that comes with the whole album that's got all these pages and information about the recording process. Check out Mood Valiant by Hiatus Coyote. Just check out Hiatus Coyote in general. You won't be disappointed. They're fucking awesome.
Nice.
That minute went by really quickly.
Yeah, it did. But you did a good job.
Thanks.
Bold of you
One
to
thing
do
I
a
just wanna
vinyl that you
say-
haven't listened to a million times, though.
I know. That's usually what they all are. This one I don't even have like memorized yet, which is such a fun part of the process.
Oh, ballsy.
And I know I'm going over my minute because I'm still talking about it, but I just also wanted to say that Napalm, the reason they hadn't released an album in over 5 years is because after they did their last album, they recorded the instruments for this album, but then she got breast cancer, and so they didn't record the vocals for like 3 years or 4 years or whatever. Finally, when she won the battle, then they recorded the vocals. So it's interesting to think of how long of a process it was for this album to be created and finally put out and everything. And it's really cool. Really cool band.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Let me show you this real quick before we get into TikToks.
I
Just talking about like this is just a bonus TikTok, but
you're giving yourself another TikTok. All right.
Yeah. So
It's okay.
I
You
don't
do
know
it
if
all
you
the fucking
saw
time.
this.
You cheat all the time, so it's okay. Cheater. Hey, I don't even know what pumpkins taste like plain. Can you tell me?
Nice.
Thank you.
That's clever. Did you see this mom with her baby?
No.
So I'm going to show you this video, and the whole time I want you to watch the baby.
We're getting ripped tonight. R.I.P.
Peas, it's time to eat your peas. Yes.
Look at the baby.
I feel like there's got to be like a bunch of versions of this TikTok where people just replace the sound with something terrifying, like the thoughts of the kid.
So
and
Brandon Calvillo, I think is his name. The guy, he was on Vine, like remixed it, and that's where I first saw this. But what is going through this fucking baby's mind?
I think he's remembering all of his past lives.
Literally, look at, and I love how the mom is just like, she's going to town with the dance, and she's smiling and giggling, and the baby is like, look at his fucking eyes, and his eyes are all huge. The pupils are all gigantic. Like, what the fuck is that baby looking at?
I think the camera.
Yeah, but what's inside? What is going on?
Gotta Got a man down. He's having like war flashbacks.
Exactly,
from
that's what it looks
past
like.
lives.
This baby was in the Viet Cong, and he's just sprinting around the jungles in Vietnam in his mind.
Do you believe in past lives?
Past lives?
Yeah. Like reincarnation in any sort of way.
I don't know, man.
I don't know either. I don't think I do, but like
I'm just a moron. I have no.
I don't even know like what consciousness is. So sometimes sometimes I think maybe that's not such an outlandish idea since we don't even have a lot of stuff solved about existence.
Yeah, if
know.
anything, I think I was a dog in past life because sometimes I look at my dog and just go, yeah, dude, same.
Dude, say.
Oh shit! I literally was not even. Hell yeah, dude, same. Oh man, I wish we had already done our fucking TikToks. Just end the episode, close it down, end the show.
Too bad.
That's it.
Yeah,
I need a
if
soundboard.
past lives are real, if reincarnation is real, I want it to be that you can be whatever you want. You can be a different animal, and you can choose what you want your next life to be. So you could be an animal, you could be an alien on a different planet. That'd be cool.
Yeah, that's not it for sure.
We have no idea is the thing, Logan.
Yeah,
so
but
how
you
dare
definitely don't get to choose because if
You have
whoever
no
chose me,
idea. You have
whoever
no idea.
chose
The fact
like
you're
a
saying
6'2"
definitely right now shows how
chubby
stupid
dude,
you are.
Yeah, no, that's not the
You
way
can't
to
say
go.
definitely because you have no fucking idea. But go ahead. Sounds stupid.
I'm just saying. And whoever chose to be you, like whatever creature was like, I'm gonna be.
It was
this.
probably a real badass like dinosaur who said, I'm going to take millions of years off and I'm only going to come back once. And it's going to be Andy Arthur fucking Smith.
Hmm.
So I was a dinosaur.
Probably
do you want to show me your
gecko.
TikToks?
Yeah. Sure. Why not? You want to see them?
I guess.
Okay. So first off, this one is. I hope it's not staged because I like it a lot. But did you see this one?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
What the hell happened?
I don't get how that happened either.
She did it on purpose. She blew into it.
Oh,
You didn't
that's
get
so
that?
confusing. Okay. I see.
Yeah.
So she opened it and then she.
So she opens it like
That's
she's going to
awesome.
shotgun it. So she's got a hole in the bottom because she's going to shotgun it. She just blows into it. And the best part is the girl fucking white girl Instagramming right next to her in a bikini
Yeah.
with the kissy face. And then just. And then the drool coming out of the girl's mouth because she just immediately starts laughing. Like, that's what makes me hope that it's so real because it's such a genuine,
Yeah.
juicy prank. I love it. And it's
It
so
looks
sweet.
real, and the way that the other girl got sprayed, she didn't look like she was expecting it at all.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
if it's staged, then they're really good actors.
And
I
fuck
just- I
them if
doubt
it
that.
is. Yeah, no, that's got to be. Look how late her reaction is, and like,
That's funny.
man. And I love the way that the girl just immediately starts laughing. Good on them. Good set of friends.
Good
Like
on
them
ya.
a lot. Good on ya. And then this guy.
I can tell him I love him.
So here's the thing. Here's the preamble to this TikTok. The preamble. You know, have you heard the Bella Porch song?
No, what is it?
This ain't pilgrimage. You don't get to pick and choose. No, nothing.
Maybe. I don't know.
I don't want to go full volume singing a TikTok song, so
Sight.
I'm gonna keep it nice and quiet. But anyway, it's basically a song about like girls shouldn't have to try to have good bodies to impress people.
Okay.
So this guy decides to write the male remix.
This ain't build-a-do. You don't get to pick and choose. Six-pack abs with shoulders too. Bouncing pecs like Terry Crews. This ain't build-a-do. You know we have feelings too. Ain't nobody's perfect. Just be cool with you.
All right. Well, my TikToks are no.
I just want to point out that this guy legitimately believes that Terry Crews's pecs are the pinnacle of masculinity.
Yeah.
Bouncing pecs like Terry Crews, literally, is a lyric this man wrote and recorded and sang in his room, bouncing pecs like Terry Crews.
I just don't like him because it reminds me of the type of guy that we
Exactly,
were talking about.
exactly.
It's all fake. He's trying to be, look at me, I'm
We have
vulnerable
feelings
and
too.
we have feelings too. Which yes, we do, and it's okay to
Yep.
express that. But when you do it in such an obviously like fake
Yep.
way like this, where you're trying to be cute and at the end you smile, like you're trying to be
Also-
hot. You're just trying to.
Also, are there lots of guys without shoulders?
I don't get that line.
6-pack abs and shoulders too? Are we like girls see a guy whose arms aren't just like floating in midair and they're like,
Yeah,
like,
I don't get it.
I don't understand. He must be talking about like muscular shoulders, but I don't know.
Yeah, a little more details. Sir.
Yeah, just not and bouncing pecs like Terry Crews. Like Terry Crews bouncing his fucking tits everywhere is the peak of sexiness to women.
I
don't
think
know,
it was just a
man.
line that he liked because it rhymed. But
I
yeah.
understand that, Andy. I'm just saying that he needed to choose something else. And I'm
Yeah.
talking about like a whole other existence. He needed to choose to
That's
be
what I was gonna say.
a lot of
Yeah.
other things. Yeah.
Yeah, he needed to choose a different platform to. No, he just needed to choose a
Yeah.
different path when he was 3
Yeah.
years old.
Be different,
That didn't
look
lead him here.
different, sound different. Try
Be better.
different. Yeah. Just be a better person.
Yeah.
Anyway.
All right, well, check this out. All right,
I saw
you've
this.
seen this? This never gets old. And I know this was like an older video, but
Yeah.
hello, Wendy. Playing it off so well. They really did play it off so well. My favorite part is
Yeah.
just the audience, how it sounds like Super Smash Bros. Whoa! You know, like the audience when
Yeah.
someone gets hit. It's
Yeah.
just. And the legs are flailing at the end. It's all like so sudden. That's just so funny and good for her for playing it off so well.
Yeah. I don't know if that's better or if the high school play that you and I were in where twice during the show someone's microphone was on in the wings of the stage when they were off stage, and over the microphone the first time was me actually. I'll fess up to it right now. All my teachers, all my fans, everybody back home was coming off and going, "This place sucks." And afterwards
that's
my
perfect.
family told me, "Hey, that was you that said this
Wasn't
place
it?
sucks over the speakers." We heard you. And I was like, yeah, that was me. And then the second time was someone else randomly saying, "That's what she said."
Nice.
I don't know what was said before it, but I hope it was a good joke because it went over the speakers. So
And it was only the audio engineer's fault for not muting them when they left the stage.
yeah, exactly.
Because kids will be kids. I know you saw this one because I put it on my story. I just love this.
I don't watch your stories.
Yeah, you do. I see that you watch them.
Nope.
Fucking idiot.
Ah, a nice swimming. Shh. Welcome to My Paradise, the swimming pool. Splish, splash. Hope you guys are having a great sunny day. Bye.
Oh, I don't like that. There's going to be a Netflix documentary on that lady. Already know that.
I love just also the words that she chooses. She says, a nice swimming.
A nice swimming.
Ah,
Yeah.
A nice-
swimming. Shh.
A nice swimming. And then she goes,
Welcome to My Paradise, the swimming
Welcome
welcome
to
to
the
the
my-
my paradise.
Yeah.
Welcome to the my paradise.
Dude, I don't like the vibes that this lady is sending out. Super, super Jeffrey Dahmer vibes.
It's
Not liking
creepy,
it.
but also it could just be, I could easily just see it as just one of those old ladies who's
just
trying
a
to
mom,
do
yeah.
TikTok and she's just weird and is just being goofy.
Ugh.
And what is it with like the green sky, like her, like who do you think this is for? Ma'am?
Exactly.
Like
Who-
what do you
who-
like what do
Who's
you,
the
what do you-
market? Right.
Who's the
Where's the
market?
market for this TikTok?
And the fact that this went viral, you, ma'am, have no idea why it went viral, do you? Like
Oh, they all just like my swimming pool picture.
they like the wholesome content of me telling them to have a
Yeah.
beautiful day. Splash, splash. Yeah, that was just
Yeah. And you know, if she's a true TikTok mom, there were 46 hashtags on this, and all of them
Yeah.
had at least 9 words.
Yeah.
Hashtag swimming pool day. Hashtag love the summer. Hashtag green screen with my face in the front. Hashtag new glasses. Hashtag hair did.
Hashtag splash splash.
Hashtag splash splash.
Hashtag welcome to the My Paradise.
Welcome to the My Paradise. Yeah.
A nice swimming, as if it's like a nice gathering. You know what I mean? Like adding the ing, like it's a swimming. Like,
It's a swimming. Yeah, that's what we were doing. We had a nice swimming.
that's not grammar. All right. Well, there's my TikToks, and there's Dude Same.
There is another episode of Dude Same
We're
in the
fucking
books.
killing it.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm feeling pretty good about being alive, I think.
Yeah, that's good, man. Because me too. And
Cool.
it sucks when you don't feel good about being alive. So the fact that we do, you gotta
Yeah.
take advantage of that.
Yeah, we have hotlines for that. So
Yep. Let's grab the world by its tits and let's just fucking ride it. You can
Sure.
cut that out. You can
Nope.
edit that out.
absolutely not. Thanks for tuning in, everybody.